The dark web itself isn't a marketplace, and even like murder for hire, there's counterfeit money, there's fake IDs, there are all kinds of different websites that do horrible things.
They tried to erase it from history, but one hacker may have uncovered what was never meant to be found. Imagine coming across a supposedly classified NASA file, buried deep within the encrypted shadows of the dark web. A file rumored to contain mysterious, unearthly images. Ryan Montgomery, an ethical hacker known for exposing hidden digital secrets, never expected his search to lead him here. But according to reports, he allegedly stumbled upon a restricted archive filled with bizarre photos, unexplained footage, and documents that some believe NASA never intended for the world to see. What exactly was in those files? And if the speculation is true, why would NASA keep them out of public reach for decades? Strap in, because whether this is truth or deception, what you're about to hear will leave you questioning everything. Understanding the dark web. The dark web is often portrayed as a mysterious and dangerous part of the internet where criminals operate in secrecy. While it does house illegal activities, this perception is only partially true. The dark web refers to a part of the internet that is not indexed by search engines like Google or Bing, meaning it cannot be accessed through traditional browsers. Instead, it requires specialized software such as the Onion Router, Tor, which allows users to browse anonymously. This anonymity is a double-edged sword. It provides protection for those who need privacy, such as journalists, activists, and whistleblowers, but it also enables illicit markets and criminal enterprises. A common myth about the dark web is that simply visiting it is illegal. In reality, accessing the dark web is legal in most countries, though engaging in illegal activities there is not. Many government agencies, cybersecurity experts, and ethical hackers explore the dark web to track threats, monitor cybercrime, and expose human trafficking rings. Major media outlets and organizations like the New York Times even have dark web versions of their websites to provide uncensored news to people in oppressive regimes. The misconception that the dark web is solely for criminals overlooks its role in privacy protection and secure communication. The myth is held widely that the dark web is a huge, free, lawless place with no reach for the police forces. But if there is anonymity granted by it, then law enforcement has also gained notoriety for taking tough actions against criminal networks established there. The sad demise of Silk Road in the hands of the FBI in 2013 was the very testimony that government agencies can track cyber criminals and bring them to justice. Today, using advanced digital forensics, undercover operations, and blockchain analysis, agencies continue to curb the dark web's illegal activities. The term dark web is easily confused with the term deep web, but they refer to different things. The deep web contains all the web pages not indexed by standard search engines, medical records, academic databases, private email accounts, etc. The deep web constitutes an exponentially larger portion of the internet than its visible counterpart, called the surface web, which is frequented by most common people, whereas the dark web is but a small portion of the deep web conditionally traversable with specially configured web browsers. On the one hand, deep web content can be perfectly lawfully sought, while on the other, the anonymity availed by the dark web is prized by privacy proponents and cybercriminals alike. The truth is that the dark web is neither simply good nor simply evil. It is a tool, and its use determines whether it becomes good or bad. It facilitates illegal activities, but plays a key role in safeguarding digital security and the freedom of speech. The difference between myth and fact is important now in navigating the discussion of online privacy, cybersecurity, and law enforcement. The dark web can be thought of less as some kind of forbidden underworld, and far more as a multifaceted digital space, presenting both advantages and disadvantages. Navigating the dark web isn't as simple as opening a browser. It requires a secret key to unlock its hidden corridors. But how do users slip past the digital shadows undetected?
How to access the dark web. Accessing the dark web requires more than just opening a browser and typing in a web address. Unlike the surface web, which is indexed by search engines like Google and accessible through browsers like Chrome or Firefox, the dark web is hidden behind layers of encryption. To reach it, users need a specialized tool called the Onion Router. Tor. Tor is an open-source software that allows users to browse the internet anonymously by routing their connection through a global network of volunteer-operated servers. This process encrypts traffic in multiple layers, like an onion, making it difficult to trace a user's location or activity. To use Tor, individuals must download the Tor browser, a modified version of Firefox that automatically connects to the Tor network. Once installed, users can enter .onion addresses, which are the dark web's equivalent of traditional URLs. Unlike standard web addresses, these sites are not indexed by search engines and often change frequently to evade detection. While Tor provides a gateway to the dark web, it does not guarantee complete security. Users must still take precautions, such as disabling JavaScript, avoiding downloading unknown files, and using a VPN to add an extra layer of privacy.
What a VPN can do for you. I'll also share with you the #1 threat to your security and privacy.
One of the biggest advantages of Tor is the anonymity it offers. By routing internet traffic through multiple encrypted relays, Tor masks a user's real IP address, preventing websites, internet service providers, ISPs, and even governments from tracking their online activity. This makes Tor an essential tool for journalists, activists, and whistleblowers operating under oppressive regimes. However, the same anonymity also enables illegal marketplaces, cybercriminal forums, and illicit activities to thrive. Law enforcement agencies continuously monitor Tor for illegal content, making it crucial for users to be aware of the legal implications of their online behavior. Another approach is hidden networks such as I2P, Invisible Internet Project, and Freenet. Though more popular means for accessing the dark web, Tor stands alone at the top. I2P is centered around secure peer-to-peer communication, while Freenet is intended for decentralized file sharing. Still, by far, the most majorly deployed and well-known by the public is Tor to enter the dark web, which receives a constant influx of new onion websites accommodating both spot-on and illegal activities. But Tor is not always illegal. It was originally funded and released by the US Naval Research Laboratory to protect government communications. Today, the Tor Project, a non-profit organization to protect digital privacy, maintains it. As governments limit and sometimes try to block it, Tor has become a critical obstruction in the way of fighting against surveillance and maintaining online liberation. Conceivably, those who want to step out into the dark web should know how Tor works, be it for research purposes, safeguarding their privacy, or fighting against cybercrime. Ethical hacker. Exploring the dark web. Ryan Montgomery is widely recognized in cybersecurity circles as an ethical hacker, a professional who legally and ethically tests digital security systems to identify vulnerabilities before malicious actors can exploit them. Unlike black hat hackers who break into systems for personal gain or cybercrime, ethical hackers work to strengthen cybersecurity defenses and protect individuals, businesses, and institutions. Montgomery has built a reputation for exposing threats lurking in the dark web.
Black market, or whatever you want to call it. Once you're connected to the dark web, Tor, the onion router, what I was explaining before,
An encrypted part of the internet that is often associated with illegal activities, anonymous forums, and hidden data leaks. His work has positioned him as a key figure in uncovering cyber threats and assisting law enforcement agencies in their fight against digital crime. While ethical hackers typically focus on cybersecurity vulnerabilities in corporate networks, Montgomery's explorations of the dark web have provided valuable insights into the hidden corners of the internet. He has reportedly uncovered illegal marketplaces, cybercriminal networks, and forums where sensitive information is traded, making his work critical in understanding how criminals operate in digital secrecy. His ability to trace digital footprints, identify hidden infrastructures, and analyze encrypted data has contributed to cybersecurity efforts aimed at dismantling harmful operations. Although much of his work takes place in the shadows, his expertise in navigating these secretive platforms highlights the importance of ethical hacking in combating cyber threats. Montgomery further analyzes the more profound ramifications of the existential dislocation that stems from a generation of anonymity on a dark web, emphasizing how it has fomented illegal actions but has nonetheless created an important place for privacy supporters, whistleblowers, and journalists in oppressive regimes. His deliberated analysis of Tor networks,
encrypted communications, and underground forums has contributed to better knowledge of the discrepancy between the legal and the illegal uses of these platforms. Indeed, the ethical hackers working together with Montgomery map out these networks and trends that feed directly into digital security strategies designed to counter cybercrime before the crime is realized. Montgomery is also engaged in online activism to increase the understanding of ethical hacking, the dark web threats, and digital privacy among the general public. With over 1 million social media followers, he offers insight into online safety, cyber defense strategies, and hacking prevention techniques. He communicates highly technical cybersecurity knowledge in an entertaining and accessible manner, bridging the gap between experts and everyday internet users. He emphasizes the need to learn about cybersecurity risks and create sound digital protection practices in his public outreach. Ethical hacking. In an era where cyber threats are more sophisticated than ever, ethical hacking has become a critical defense strategy for governments, businesses, and individuals. Ethical hackers, also known as white hat hackers, use their expertise to identify and fix security vulnerabilities before malicious hackers can exploit them. These professionals legally and ethically simulate cyber attacks, testing systems for weaknesses in order to improve overall security. As data breaches, ransomware attacks, and online fraud continue to rise, ethical hackers play a crucial role in safeguarding sensitive information and digital infrastructures. One of the main objectives of ethical hacking is penetration testing, where hackers attempt to break into a system just as a cyber criminal would. By doing so, they help organizations strengthen their defenses and patch security flaws before they can be exploited. Many ethical hackers work as security consultants for major corporations, financial institutions, and government agencies, ensuring that their networks and databases remain protected from external threats. Without ethical hackers, businesses would struggle to stay ahead of cybercriminals, making them vulnerable to financial losses, reputational damage, and legal consequences. Beyond corporate security, ethical hackers also play a significant role in protecting individuals from cyber threats. With the rise of identity theft, phishing scams, and online fraud, personal cybersecurity has become just as important as corporate security. Ethical hackers often expose scam websites, fake social media accounts, and data breaches to warn the public about potential dangers. Some ethical hackers even collaborate with law enforcement agencies to track down cybercriminals, rescue victims of human trafficking, and dismantle dark web operations. Their work is not just about preventing attacks, it's about making the digital world safer for everyone. The demand for ethical hackers has increased exponentially over the years, creating space for various professional certifications and training programs. The Certified Ethical Hacker, CEH, Offensive Security Certified Professional, OSCP, and GIAC Penetration Tester, GPN, certifications have come to be accepted as industry standards, ensuring ethical hackers undergo stringent professional regulations. Several universities and technical institutions have introduced courses related to the new field of cybersecurity and ethical hacking. This has proved to be important for modern digital defense. Now companies are actively seeking to hire ethical hackers with good remuneration and job security, owing to the high demand for cybersecurity professionals. Despite this power bestowed upon ethical hackers, they are often confronted with legal and ethical dilemmas. Certainly, within the confines of the law, ethical hackers may, on occasion, need access to confidential data or breach restricted systems. It is here that the fine line rests. A momentary lapse in authorization may mean misunderstanding or be simply misunderstood, leading to possible civil action or even criminal prosecution. Some governments have laid down strict policies concerning cybersecurity, decriminalizing hacking in after-the-fact ethical consideration, challenging the demarcation between the ethical hacker and the faux hacker. As the world continues to depend on the digital world, ethical hackers will work through gray areas of privacy, security, and digital ethics. Their role is quite vital in the fight against cybercrime, ensuring technology is used as a tool for innovation, not as a weapon of exploitation. Inside the underworld, the dark web is often associated with criminal activity, primarily because of its anonymity and lack of regulation. While not all dark web activity is illegal, it has become a hub for various black markets, where users can buy and sell goods and services without oversight. These illicit marketplaces operate similarly to e-commerce websites, allowing buyers and sellers to transact using cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin to maintain anonymity. Some of the most infamous dark web markets, such as Silk Road and Alpha Bay, have been shut down by law enforcement, but new marketplaces continue to emerge, making regulation a constant challenge. One of the most well-documented illegal activities on the dark web is the sale of drugs and counterfeit goods. Vendors list substances ranging from prescription medications to illicit narcotics, often shipping them in disguised packages to avoid detection. Counterfeit money, fake passports, and fraudulent identification documents are also widely available, catering to those looking to obscure their identity or engage in financial fraud. Although law enforcement agencies have successfully infiltrated some of these networks, the decentralized and encrypted nature of the dark web makes it difficult to eradicate these activities completely. Some more extreme claims suggest that the dark web hosts murder-for-hire services and human trafficking operations, but these assertions are largely speculative and often debunked. Many so-called hitman services found on the dark web have turned out to be scams, preying on individuals willing to pay large sums for crimes that were never actually carried out. However, the dark web does provide a space for organized crime to communicate, share intelligence, and engage in illicit transactions, which makes it a legitimate concern for global security agencies. Another major issue on the dark web is data breaches and cybercrime, where stolen credit card details, hacked accounts, and corporate databases are sold to the highest bidder. Some marketplaces specialize in selling personal information obtained through large-scale hacks, allowing cybercriminals to commit fraud, identity theft, and even ransomware attacks. The rise of ransomware as a service, where criminals can purchase pre-made hacking tools, has made it easier than ever for inexperienced hackers to target businesses and individuals. This growing cybercrime economy continues to be a serious threat to financial institutions and personal security. Despite its dark reputation, the dark web is not entirely lawless. Law enforcement agencies around the world have successfully infiltrated and taken down several major black markets, often using undercover operations, blockchain tracking, and cyber forensics. The FBI, Europol, and Interpol have led significant crackdowns, arresting high-profile criminals and seizing illicit assets. However, as authorities shut down one marketplace, others quickly take its place, creating a constant game of cat and mouse. While the dark web continues to be a breeding ground for crime, it also serves as a battleground where ethical hackers, cybersecurity experts, and law enforcement work to dismantle illegal networks and protect digital security. Ryan Montgomery's discovery. Ryan Montgomery, an ethical hacker known for uncovering hidden information on the dark web, allegedly stumbled upon a classified NASA dataset while investigating encrypted servers. According to speculative reports, he found files labeled NASA Export, which contained a collection of images, technical documents, and metadata spanning multiple decades. These files supposedly included photographs that did not resemble any known space missions or celestial bodies, raising questions about their origins. If true, this discovery could suggest that sensitive NASA data had somehow been leaked or deliberately hidden on the dark web. However, without verifiable evidence, this claim remains unconfirmed and must be treated with skepticism. The alleged dataset reportedly contained images dating back to 1987, with annotations suggesting they were compiled by NASA personnel. Montgomery and his colleagues, upon analyzing the metadata, purportedly noted unique file structures consistent with NASA's internal imaging systems, making it unlikely that the files were fabricated. Some reports claim that these images depicted unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, or biological specimens that defied conventional explanations. However, critics argue that without direct authentication from NASA or independent experts, these files could have been altered, misinterpreted, or even intentionally planted as misinformation. These alleged disclosures suggest that the files may point to the suppression of otherworldly evidence, one of the more sensational aspects of the purported discovery. Some sources suggested that the presumed dataset may have included star charts and equations that matched with little or nothing in NASA's public record, which further fueled the ideas concerning secret space programs. Should these files, if they were to exist, become real, then serious questions would arise over the matter of how such data found their way into the dark web and whether NASA had withheld it from public scrutiny. Yet, because no one has been able to authenticate these allegations or had an official representative of NASA speak on the subject, these assertions ought to be regarded purely as conjecture. While the prospect of a NASA dark web leak is exciting, cybersecurity experts are nonetheless cautious that the dark web is dominated by scams and warped information. If Montgomery found such documents labeled NASA files, then their authenticity would have to be vigorously fact-checked before drawing any conclusions. Without official recognition and potential forgery of the documents in question, ample caution should be exercised in evaluating such findings. This supposed NASA find of Montgomery thus remains an unproven puzzle until these facts come to light, a puzzle still capable of igniting debate, but not possessing evidence to rewrite history. If these files are real, they could change everything. But why were they hidden? And what secrets might they hold? What could they really mean? The idea that NASA may be concealing classified files related to extraterrestrial life or advanced technology has fueled speculation for decades. Conspiracy theorists argue that hidden documents, images, and research could contain groundbreaking evidence that would challenge our understanding of space and humanity's place in the universe. While NASA has publicly released numerous files on space exploration and unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, through Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, requests, some believe that the most sensitive discoveries remain classified. If such files were to be uncovered, it could force a re-evaluation of long-standing scientific and governmental transparency policies regarding space research. However, no verifiable proof has been presented to confirm these allegations. If NASA were to possess and suppress evidence of extraterrestrial life, the implications would be profound. It would suggest that the agency, and possibly other government entities, have withheld information that could reshape scientific, philosophical, and even religious perspectives on life beyond Earth. Public disclosure of such files could lead to widespread debate over why this information was kept secret and what other hidden knowledge might exist. On the other hand, skeptics argue that many of the so-called leaked NASA files found on the dark web lack proper authentication and could be elaborate hoaxes, manipulated data, or even misinformation campaigns. Without concrete validation, these claims remain speculative rather than factual. Some people would like to believe that the rumored covert NASA files could contain secret files on advanced technologies in space, such as propulsion systems and experimental spacecraft. If such data existed and were leaked, it could raise an enormous national security issue for releasing advanced technologies geared towards defense purposes or space missions in the future. The governments and the aerospace agencies of the world have always taken extra measures to protect their proprietary research. It may very well be that whatever file we are referring to is kept secret not on account of extraterrestrial discoveries, but because of global technological competition concerns. It thus remains complicated to make a clear distinction between legitimate secrecy and the undisclosed evidence of alien activity due to the extreme secrecy of defense-related aerospace projects. In the end, NASA's alleged hidden files form the crux of a public discourse replete with curiosity about space enigmas and governmental secrecy. Whether these files truly carry revelations beyond anything we can imagine or only rumors collated into one ungrounded option, it embody at the very least the will for transparency in space exploration. NASA and other space agencies will keep releasing the scientific findings and data that the public deserves to see. Until verifiable evidence comes forth regarding the alleged classified discoveries, however, the existence of any such files must be met with skepticism. Unless undeniable, authenticated evidence resolves this query. Curiosity on the topic remains an open question, with threads running through science, conspiracy theories, and space exploration, fueling the unknown. The dark web is often viewed as a hidden corner of the internet where anonymity reigns, making it a fertile ground for conspiracy theories to spread unchecked. Unlike the surface web, where information is often moderated and fact-checked by journalists, researchers, and independent analysts, the dark web provides an unregulated space where speculative and unverifiable claims can flourish. Forums, encrypted messaging boards, and hidden websites allow users to share and discuss theories that range from government cover-ups to secret alien encounters, often without scrutiny. While some of these discussions involve genuine investigative work, many others rely on misinformation, exaggerated claims, or fabricated documents. One reason the dark web serves as a hotspot for conspiracy theories is the sense of secrecy and exclusivity it provides. Many users believe that because information is hidden from the general public, it must be more credible or revealing than mainstream sources. This perception fuels speculation about classified government projects, secret scientific discoveries, and global conspiracies, including topics like NASA's alleged hidden files, alien cover-ups, and clandestine military experiments. However, much of the content shared in these spaces is unverified and lacks credible sources, making it difficult to separate fact from fiction. Without proper vetting, misinformation can spread rapidly, reinforcing pre-existing beliefs rather than uncovering real truths. There is also speculation in some quarters that some of the most sensational leaks attributed to the dark web, classified documents or evidence for extraterrestrial life, are rather disinformation programs seeded with the intention of distracting, confusing, or whipping up paranoia. The data corroborating this view would be extremely hard to obtain, and it is reasonable to assume that entirely false claims might gain credence and find acceptance in non-conforming domains. The same, however, cannot be said about certain media serving independent research and investigative journalism, which constitute a safe haven for exposing true secrets that governments or corporations seek to keep buried. Although many conspiracy theories permeating the dark web are supported by thin credence, some leaks such as classified military documents or intelligence reports have checked out, thus turning into a double-edged sword, whereby legitimate inquiry walks alongside baseless speculation. The same double-edged nature of conspiracy propagation present on the dark web underlines the other inherent difficulty of unregulated information. It has been weaponized in a million ways, providing both an opportunity for genuine seeking and a bazaar for charlatans with hardly a way to differentiate between the two. The dark web dilemma. Investigating the dark web presents a complex ethical and legal dilemma, particularly for ethical hackers, journalists, and law enforcement agencies. While the dark web hosts valuable information, including whistleblower leaks and intelligence on cyber threats, it is also home to illegal marketplaces, criminal forums, and highly sensitive data. Accessing this content raises questions about the legality of viewing or handling such materials, especially when it involves unauthorized data breaches. Even ethical hackers who explore the dark web to identify threats must navigate a fine line between cybersecurity research and potential legal violations under laws like the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, CFAA, in the US, and similar regulations worldwide. One of the biggest ethical concerns in dark web investigations is the unintended consequences of exposing information. While uncovering criminal networks or leaked corporate and government documents can serve the public interest, it can also compromise privacy, endanger individuals, or interfere with ongoing law enforcement operations. Ethical hackers and investigative journalists must weigh the risks of publishing dark web findings. If sensitive information falls into the wrong hands, it could fuel misinformation, incite panic, or even aid malicious actors. The challenge lies in determining what should be exposed for the public good and what should remain undisclosed to prevent harm. Another point of contention is the issue of entrapment and surveillance. Governments and law enforcement agencies monitor activities on the dark web, sometimes in sting operations, or infiltrating from within a criminal network to catch cybercriminals. These operations seem to sit on a slippery slope of ethics when they set up fake black markets or transactions, or even facilitate illegal acts, so they can keep track of who shows up. When authorities employ hacking tools, malware, or backdoor exploits, the questions multiply around whether such surveillance tactics infringe on individual privacy rights and due process rights. For cybersecurity investigators, even legitimate dealings on the dark web could put them on the radar for suspicious behavior and legal consequences. Those in dark web investigation face clear challenges. However, for cybercrime, human trafficking, and terrorism, the dark web continues to provide a source of intelligence for cybersecurity researchers, human rights lawyers, and government agencies combating these offenses. The mainstay of ethical investigations on the dark web is transparency, accountability, and legality.
Ethical hackers working with the law enforcement or security companies will find their work governed by contracts which outline the scope and terms under which they may operate. Independent researchers and journalists face an environment with heightened risks, wherein each investigatory effort should be examined for the balance between ethical responsibilities and compliance with legal considerations. As digital threats develop, this argument on how far to investigate the dark web will stay alive with the required discussion of ethics, privacy, and cybersecurity law. Uncovering hidden truths comes at a cost: legal risks, ethical dilemmas, and the weight of what's discovered. But if these secrets are as big as they seem, what happens next could be even more shocking. A glimpse into the future. If NASA were found to have hidden files containing groundbreaking discoveries, the implications for the future of space exploration and scientific understanding would be profound. Some speculate that these files could contain evidence of extraterrestrial life, advanced propulsion technologies, or undisclosed space missions. If such information were ever verified and made public, it could revolutionize our approach to space travel, leading to new scientific breakthroughs, international collaborations, and potentially even the redefinition of humanity's place in the universe. However, without concrete proof, these claims remain in the realm of speculation and theoretical possibilities. One of the most significant potential impacts of these alleged hidden files is their effect on scientific research and technological development. If NASA, or any other space agency, possessed knowledge of advanced materials, energy sources, or faster-than-light travel concepts, the release of this information could lead to a technological revolution. Some theorists suggest that current limitations in propulsion systems and energy efficiency could be surpassed if previously suppressed discoveries were made available. However, without verifiable documentation, these ideas remain purely hypothetical, and mainstream scientists argue that if such breakthroughs existed, they would likely have been introduced through established research channels. Public trust in government agencies and scientific institutions would also suffer if substantive information were proven to be withheld. For many years, the public release of various declassified documents regarding UFOs and unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, has shown the limited willingness of agencies such as NASA or the US government to disclose information to the public. The emergence of some hidden files with undeniable proof of past secrecy might raise demands for transparency, independent investigations, and changes in the processes of conducting and sharing space research. Skeptics, however, argue that such secrecy is much more likely to arise from issues concerning national security or technological competition than from any evidence of extraterrestrial contact. What do you think? Could these rumors be true? Or is there another explanation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if this blew your mind, and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a discovery. Now, click the next video on your screen. You won't believe what's coming next.